Good evening to our viewers in the West, and thank you for joining us. We are going to begin tonight in Surfside, Florida, where the death toll has grown again. Officials say 11 bodies have now been pulled from the rubble, but 150 people are still missing after that 13-story condo building collapsed early Thursday. More than 300 rescuers are now working back-to-back 12-hour shifts, pausing only when they hear sounds suggesting any signs of life. After 5 days, family members of the missing and the crews working on the pile say they aren't giving up hope, pointing to other disasters where people were found alive weeks later. Still tonight, along with hope, there is anger about how this could have happened. The White House says President Biden supports an expansive federal investigation, and government engineers that studied the World Trade Center collapse are now being dispatched to study the condo building. One area expected to get scrutiny is the tower's basement level, which experts believe may have been first to give way. An engineering report from 2018 found major structural damage below the pool deck and crumbling columns in the underground parking garage. CBS's David Begnaud has been talking with family members looking for answers. But first, CBS's Manuel Bojorquez is going to lead off our coverage with the latest on the search. Good evening, Manny.
Good evening, Nora. Today, officials said that crews have spotted pockets within the rubble where it could be possible for someone to survive, and they've put out a fire that was hampering their efforts. But so far, no additional survivors have been pulled from the rubble since soon after the collapse.
A small army of rescuers has been working around the clock since the collapse, combing through the debris field using heavy machinery and their bare hands, looking for any signs of life.
They hardly rest. They come off for about 45 minutes, they check their pulse, they check their O2 levels, and they go back to work because that's what they do. They work to save lives.
Also buried underneath the rubble, clues as to what may have caused the collapse. What investigators may focus on is whether the structural supports beneath the complex gave way. An engineer's report from 2018 showed the Champlain Tower South condo building had abundant cracking in concrete columns, beams, and walls in the parking garage and major structural damage to a concrete slab caused by failed waterproofing that, if not repaired in a timely fashion, would cause the concrete to deteriorate. But it did not indicate if any of those issues could lead to a collapse. John Pistorino is a veteran engineer and expert in building design.
We always start to look at is some evidence of settlement, where it's something is going on in the foundation, it starts to make the building settle, or maybe a column or something settle.
CBS News has learned a month after that survey was presented, a city building official told the condo board that the building was in pretty good shape. He has since denied seeing the report. According to the Miami Herald, just 36 hours before the building collapse, a contractor reportedly took these photos inside the building's pool equipment room, showing cracks in the concrete, exposed rebar, and water on the floor. During the 5 years that former maintenance manager William Espinoza worked in the building, he says salt water often flooded the building because he would see it coming through the bottom of the foundation.
It would handle 2 pumps in there to suck that water out. But it was so much water all the time that the pumps never could keep up with it.
For the first time, family members of the missing were bused to the disaster zone on Sunday to see the colossal rescue effort up close. Steve Rosenthal survived the collapse.
And I heard people yelling, help me, get me out. That was pretty scary. To be honest with you.
This was his hallway after he had to be rescued off his balcony, and says he is just now learning of the structural issues that lurked beneath.
To me, that's negligence on the part of whoever, was supposed to take care of that stuff. The maintenance people, the board, whoever the board was. I'm angry about that, 100%.
Out here, the work continues. Heavy machinery has been brought in to take the rubble to a warehouse where it will be stored as evidence. These crews are working in sweltering heat and dealing with pop-up thunderstorms. There are more in the forecast tonight. Nora?
Manny Bojorquez, thank you.